Well, it's no secret St. Joseph has a rich history, and historic buildings in town help to tell the city's story. Many of these historic restored homes bring to light an important topic in our community, the preservation of historic buildings and homes in the city. I spoke with one local nonprofit about their mission of preservation, education, and community development.
Nobody comes to a town to see the next big box store out on the belt.
That's the opinion of some hoping to save the history of St. Joseph because they believe progress is taking a step back in time.
Everything original to 1885 when this house was built.
Walking through Shakespeare Chateau with Isabel McGowan takes you back in history.
In 2012, this house was listed as a distressed building for a lot of water damage and deferred maintenance that had happened here over the prior decade.
It took many years for this house to go from a state of forgotten disrepair to the beauty it is now.
Very ornate configuration on the ceiling, and then suspended from the ceiling an original light fixture. This was originally a gaslight chandelier.
McGowan says, like most American cities, St. Joseph's historical buildings suffered right along with the economy in the last century.
Especially of, say, the 1930s, the Great Depression, and then the 1940s, World War II years.
Combine that with urban sprawl and neglect sets in.
We've lost so much. By many accounts, over 70% of our historic architecture is gone.
But preservationists say a wrecking ball doesn't always have to be the fate of these buildings.
Nobody has been able to come up with the idea of how to reuse that architecture. That's the difference with the Shakespeare Chateau Guild, because this is a demonstrated way to generate revenue and to go on being this presence, this jewel, this treasure of St. Joseph.
And it's not just locals who are passionate about the topic either. Some unlikely characters have stepped in.
I now understand the architecture of the city and what there is here that is being lost. And so if you can save one part of it, that's good.
In town for his high school reunion, Donald Carter lives in California, but rediscovered St. Joseph alongside McGowan 10 years ago when he stayed at the B&B.
I went home and said to myself, I think I could do that.
So Carter made a clay mold ready to save a piece of the past. It means that much to him all these years later.
And I think it's looking absolutely marvelous.
And Carter isn't the only out-of-towner to experience the rich history right under our noses, even across oceans. McGowan just hosted a family from Germany.
They come to see the legacy of the past. They come to see these examples of American architecture when American architecture was at its very best, the best it's ever been, and probably the best it ever will be. That's what they come here for.
The Shakespeare Chateau, a beacon of preservation.
That is the key, why it's so important to preserve the buildings that we do have still here, the buildings that demonstrate and illustrate our history, our legacy, and how protecting and preserving those buildings can in fact lead to a brighter future for St. Joseph.
If you would like to get involved with the Shakespeare Chateau Guild and their mission of preserving and maintaining historic properties in St. Joseph, or to donate, visit shakespearechateau.com or call 816-232-2667.